Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I'm spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White, and welcome to Ask Me Anything for September 28th, 2023. How's everybody doing out there? Hi. Hi, Renee. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Bernadette. Hi, Liz. Hi, Gabriel. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Joy. Hi, Betty. Hi, Christine and Sarah and Frank and Sue and Amy and Debbie and Bonnie and Tanya and Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Patricia Neely. Hi, Gwendolyn. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Mary. Hi, Angela. Hi, Ellie. Well, I could just keep going on and on. Hi, Monica. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. Got a lot of things to talk about. First of all, I have to say it's so beautiful out here in Wisconsin. The leaves are, beginning to change. And I am actually 3 days a week driving to an office space that I'm renting while we're doing this full renovation in my house for a year. So, but the good news about that is I get to get out in nature and see the leaves change like daily, watching it. And yesterday I was standing in front of my house and these like yellow leaves just started blowing. I'm like, wow, this is the wildest thing just to have these experiences. It's incredible. I mean, the Midwest, if you live in the Midwest, it's just really beautiful. And again, I had the opposite experience. I went from LA to the Midwest. Most people go from the Midwest to LA. At least they did back in the day. And now we're headed back to some roots here. And it's just great. It's just a beautiful, beautiful fall season that I'm loving. But let's talk about this energy. Is this energy getting to you guys? I mean, it is such powerful and odd and almost uncomfortable and discombobulating energy. It's a strange energy. We are in eclipse season. So eclipse season begins about a month before the major eclipse and then continue a month after the major eclipse. The major eclipses, that I think eclipse is plural also, eclipse time, the first one is October 14th and the second one is October 28th. And that is about 2 weeks from where we are now. So if you look outside tonight, you will see the harvest full moon. Now, I've written that it's September 29th because technically it is September 29th. And I know today's the 28th of September. But it is fully at its peak in Eastern time. On the East Coast, it'll be 6 in the morning. And Pacific Coast, it'll be 3 in the morning for the full moon, the full harvest moon. But this full moon is very powerful. It's the last of 4 super moons from a few months ago to where we are now. And it's the last full moon and super moon right before an eclipse. And so it makes it even more powerful. It makes it, it's going to give us like heads up of what comes out of in the next, with these next 2 eclipses that come in. And the heads up is start releasing what you can release, because it's very important during this time of this eclipse to release the things that are that you don't need anymore, because eclipses would mean destination points. They're destined points. They're karmic. And so right now it's kind of giving us the energy of, I know I need to release some things that maybe it might be a relationship, might be a job, it might be a way you think, it might be releasing some trauma that you've been working on and you don't need to carry anymore. It could be any and everything here. But this full moon tonight, and in Vedic astrology, it's in Pisces. Interesting enough, Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac. So again, headed to, the last part of things. What can I let go of now? This full moon is opposed to Mars, And so Mars brings this energy of warrior, because Mars is the warrior, but it also brings courage. And I'm going to say that courage to go very, very deep into your psyche. What is it? It's a great time tonight and tomorrow. It's a great time to go to have introspection into who you are, what you stand for, what's important to you, and living to help you to release things that prevent you from living your best life. And in fact, on Monday, James and I are going to do a show about living your best life. And we're going to give you tools, psychological tools and spiritual tools. James and I were kind of laughing today. He said, I'll crack them open. And I said, okay, and I'll put them back together. And he goes, yeah, we make a good team that way. But it's also tonight, it brings out a lot of mystical energy and mystical information, maybe. And it brings out a lot of knowledge, and it brings a seriousness to it as well. So this is a really amazing time to go inward and ask yourself these questions. And I posted this on Facebook and Instagram, but I'll say it again. And really, the questions for this full moon are the following. Is there any aspect of my life that needs to end to begin anew? Okay, and with an eclipse, something ends and something begins. Do I have attachments, possibly relationships that I have trouble of letting go of? In other words, am I not my authentic self? Are people using me? Those kind of questions, with relationships. Am I able to view the situation that I'm talking about with truth and clarity? That's what this energy is really about tonight, too. Really getting very honest with yourself about whatever the situation is. Do I feel comfortable showing my true self in all the different areas of my life? Now, I know a lot of you that are mediums or psychics or empaths or healers sometimes, well, and probably for good reason, have had fear of being who you really are in front of certain people. And I have taken the approach, and I don't care. I have to be authentic. I mean, you get to a point where you just have to be authentic with who you are. And do you risk abandonment by certain people? Yeah, but I think life is all about that in general. And I would rather risk abandonment than not be my authentic self. So think on those terms if you can. And the last thing is with this full moon is, am I creating enough space, basically, to pursue subjects or studies that interest me? And am I allowing myself the time to actually even immerse things, that will spark my imagination and awaken my sense of wonder? It was funny. About a year ago, I had just come out of 3 surgeries a year ago, and I took 3 months off. And those 3 months were incredible because I re-sparked myself. Now, I'm not suggesting everybody take 3 months off. I understand that that's probably not possible, but at least allow yourself time, if you can, to be able to take care of yourself and find joy and creativity in your life. And those 3 months that really re-sparked me, it was extraordinary. So I'll never forget that. So anyway, and so this, and then on Monday, we'll start talking about the eclipse, the first eclipse on the October 14. And before I forget too, tonight is a good night if you wanted to put your crystals out for cleansing. Great time to journal, great time to meditate, and maybe take a bath and create some moon water and any of that. Tonight's moon would be very special, actually, to do that. It's the way I view that, okay? And before I get into questions, I wanted to talk about, I have a friend who is a psychotherapist and a wonderful psychotherapist. And she has a private practice in New York. Now, she's licensed in New York, but I know that there are other states that she can see people in, I believe, as well. And you can contact her. And I'm going to give you her information because if you know somebody that's looking for a spiritual psychotherapist, because often, I'll get asked, I need somebody out. Can you find me a therapist? And, in different parts of the country. And sometimes I can help look, but sometimes I really have trouble with that. But I think you guys would really just love her. She's just, I think, a remarkable therapist, remarkable soul. And her name is Betty Scott. And we're going to put up her information. Renee is going to put her information for her on Psychology Today. You can find her link, and it's actually Betty Moher, Moher Scott. And Betty, if you're watching, you just do extraordinary work, honey. I really think you're an excellent therapist and a spiritualist also. So that would be great for anybody that you know that's looking for a therapist. Currently, I'm going to say in the East Coast, but because there are other states that would probably allow her to work, you might want to check. And she does a lot of her work on Zoom. And she also, I believe, and she has an office, so she sees people there. So if you can, Renee, if you wouldn't mind putting up her information and her Instagram, join her on Instagram too. She's got wonderful posts. And I think you'll find her energy just really lovely, bubbly and deep. And she's really, really that special to me. So anyway, if you know anybody looking for a therapist, or if you're looking for a therapist in that area, check out Betty Moher Scott. So let me say hello to some people here. And I wanted to answer this. I've got thank you for your great questions today. I've got so many questions to answer here. Sylvia Ambrose, she said, Kellee, my son is going through a hard time mentally at the moment. Will he get better soon? And his birthday is July 22nd. So July 22nd is a 6 of clubs. 6 of clubs often carry so much in their mind, Sylvia, because they have they have to figure out their own truth for themselves. Okay. And yes, he'll get better. He'll definitely get better. Teach him meditation. It'd probably be a great thing for him if he was be able to start to meditate. Also, these eclipses and the full moon energy really kind of do a number on people too. They just shake energy up, and it's almost the energy of discombobulation. It's my new favorite word right now. And I'm going to answer this one before I go into these other questions too. And this is from Bernadette Desir. She said, thanks for all you do. How can I continue to reach out to my inner child and help her heal? It's very scary at times doing shadow work. It is scary doing shadow work. I agree. And it's so amazing that you can do that, Bernadette. And I know you are February 26th, which is a Queen of Clubs. And Queen of Clubs often will have a very challenging childhood, okay, and life, because they have a mind that is unbelievable. And they're so psychic and intuitive. But here's what I find with everybody, and particularly with Queen of Hearts, but with everybody, inner child work is amazing, and having compassion for what you've gone through is everything. Okay, Bernadette. So really reach in, especially with this moon. It's really important, and it's just have compassion for everything that you've gone through and start to heal that little girl. Okay. So I hope that helps, Bernadette. Okay. So let's see. I've got a lot of things here. So, okay. So Lori Wolf asked this question. She says, hi, Kellee. I'm January 18th. January 18th. And that is a 9 of diamonds. 9 of diamonds comes to complete things. Anytime you hear me say 9, it's like to complete things. She says, when one has a premonition or premonitions, how come they don't have them all the time? I've had 2 in my life that I can remember. Well, Lori, I'm going to tell you this. If you had a premonition all the time, you would have, how do I say it? Become schizophrenic probably. It's too much. It's too much. And I really believe that when we have premonitions, and all of us can have premonitions. I mean, I've had quite a few. Not that many, but enough. So I always recognize when it does happen. And then I write them down, or I'll tell James, I'll tell Don, and then we'll see. Doesn't mean that they come true. Some of it can, some of it, a little bit of it can, and maybe none of it can. But that's an interesting thing, and you wouldn't want to have it all the time. There's just no way. There's a lot of things you just don't want to know. Close up shop. Anyway, let's see. Liz Tafoya. Hi, Liz. Hi, Kellee. I'm March 21. So March 21 is, I know this one by heart, actually, 2 of diamonds. And 2 of diamonds often is really creative, and they have partners, and very psychic. And she says, thanks for your time and uplifting energy. I'm very excited to start my new journey and learn about my inner self and who my guides are. I'm hoping you can help. So the best way to ask your guides who they are is literally sit in meditation and start asking and allow yourself, oh, I hear this voice. Oh, I feel this. What do they feel like? What do your guides feel like? Everybody has a minimum of one guide. Everybody. What I've noticed now are souls that I work with constantly have more than one guides, two guides, three guides, because there's so much going on in the world for all of us, so much change. And you can always bring in a guide. If let's say you're going to write a book, you need somebody to help you write. You could bring in that guide. Or let's say you're going to start something new. I'll tell you a great book to read, Liz, that could help too, is a book called Living with Joy. Living with Joy. And it's by Sanaya Roman, Roman, Sanaya. I think it's Sanaya, Sanaya Roman. But it's a great book and she works with her guide. And I think that you would find that very, very good. I think it's a really good book here. Okay, so this question is from Rick East. Hi, Rick. How are you doing? He said, regarding universal collective consciousness. Okay, so the question's going to be about regarding universal, the collective consciousness. He said, I'm open to and can theoretically grasp the concept. Great. But my perception and experience is soul consciousness. Okay, just your consciousness. How do you experience collective consciousness and what does it feel like? He said, I guess I'm stuck in 3D. So I have experienced collective consciousness, and I'll tell you exactly what it feels like. As many of you know, I had a traumatic brain injury years ago in 2000. And from that point, a couple years into it, I started meditating all the time. And in this state of meditation, where my vibration is rising, my Kundalini energy is rising, and I was probably for 5 straight years in a position where that's what I did. I was in constant meditation. That's what I did. And what is Kellee doing? She's meditating. In fact, they all knew, she's meditating. Don't go in that room. And I mean hours and hours and hours. And I say this because here's what happened to me. It happened twice. So I've had the experience of collective consciousness twice. And here's the experience. The first time I was driving, I was on one of the freeways in Los Angeles, just driving. And all of a sudden, everything seemed to slow down. Now remember, I wasn't on the 405, but I was like on a 101 I was on the 110, I think. It was an odd place to be. And I remember thinking, no, I was on the 10. That's right. I was on the 10 because I remember thinking I better get off the freeway. I didn't know if I was having a stroke. I wasn't sure what was happening. All I knew was that I was slowing down and I wanted to get off the freeway. So as I'm driving off the freeway, I realize that I am one with everyone. I'm one with the driver to my right. I'm one with the sidewalk. I'm one with my car. I get out of the car. I see these flowers. The flowers were so alive and vivacious and had such consciousness. I was one with the clouds. I mean, no, I was not on acid. I have never done acid in my life or drugs or any of that. None. So it wasn't from that. And I was not having a stroke. It was a collective consciousness. And so when you ask what it feels like, it feels you are one. There's no separation. And that's when I actually had 2 experiences of it. The second one was about 6 months later while I was walking. This time I wasn't driving. Now, why did it hit that moment? I have no idea. But this was so significant in my development and my growth, so I could understand that we really are all one. There is no separate consciousness. We really are all one. So that's how it feels. And the second time it was with animals and the plants and nature and fruit. And I mean, it just, and I didn't know, it never happened again. It happened twice in about 6 months period. Okay. And I'm always kind of curious if it will happen again. Of course, this time I'll be thinking, am I having a stroke? I don't know, but it was something. But it was literally, I was devoted to meditation. Again, what's Kellee doing? I'm meditating, So thank you for that question. I really appreciate that question very much. Let's see. Hi, Kellee from Joy. Thank you so much for doing this work. You're so welcome. Things seem pretty wild and unbalanced right now. That is the truth. Can I have a reading for the upcoming weeks? And your birthday is May 19th. So I think for everybody, and you're May 19th, and just May 19th is a King of Clubs. So you've got a male brain, Joy, and a male brain is extraordinary. King of Clubs can outthink, out-intuit anybody. There's just very, very powerful energy with the King of Clubs. Often they come in as writers, or they can run a company. They're very creative. Often they have to be entrepreneurs on some level too here. But for as far as the upcoming weeks, for everybody, we're going to see a lot of change because of these eclipses. Now, we may not see it on the eclipse day. We may not see it on today with the full moon, but we will see lots of change come up. Eclipse points last for 18 months. So here we go with this eclipse, and we're going to see some big change. And it can be the change where we see people passing away. We see babies being born. We like a lot of coming and going with this kind of energy. So it's going to be an interesting time. Okay. Don Rosen. Hi, Don. Blessings, Kellee. Can you instruct me how to discern the difference between channeling your guides and channeling your higher self? Yes, absolutely. So, yes, thanks. A great question, Don. Excellent question. So, as I was saying on Monday's show with James, when we talk about, the universe is giving me a test. No, nonsense. It's our higher self is giving us a test. Our higher self is our energy on steroids, basically. It's our higher self is above us with a little bit, like 20% into us. I mean, that's a guess. James and I have talked about this a million times. It's a guess 20% into us, but the rest is on the other side. But guides are separate, and you can discern your guides. I always know the energy of my guides, and it's very specific energy. And so you just have to work with it. You can tell because it's not you. Okay, it's not you. So there you go. Oh, and you've got the 70-30 rule here. I would have said 80-20, but 70-30 probably is correct. So I hope that helps. Just practice, practice, practice. That will do it. Okay, so that will help. Okay, so here's a good question, and this is from Rachel Rogerson, and I really love this question. She said, "Hi, Kellee. Are rainbow babies more advanced souls?" So I'm going to explain all of this. She said, "I'm currently pregnant with her rainbow baby due in April. And I'm wondering what I'm in for." And your birthday is 12/14. So you're a 4 clubs like me. We can take an awful lot there, Rachel. So let me explain what a rainbow baby is. First of all, honey, congratulations. Really, congratulations. So there are 2 ways to view rainbow babies. Or I'm going to give you 2 different scenarios with rainbow babies. So the first one is a rainbow baby is a name that was coined for a healthy baby that comes in, that's born after a baby was lost due to like miscarriage or SIDS or infant loss or neonatal death or stillbirth or any of that. And so a rainbow baby comes after that. It's a healthy baby that's born. So that's one. I wasn't sure what you were asking, but this may be what you're asking, this one. And the baby's coming in. Yes, honey, they're more advanced souls. Yes. If you've lost a baby through any which way, miscarriage or infant loss or any of which way, the one that comes in is definitely an advanced soul. Definitely. And not that this is any way the same, but I was thinking about this question a lot and I was thinking about it with, I know it's going to sound really strange, but just go with me, with my beloved dog. I had this wonderful dog named Maggie, and we only had Maggie for 6 months, and she was just sent from God, this one was an angel. She did so much work in her 6 months and she died suddenly. And then maybe 6 months later, everybody was saying, you need to get another dog. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think I can. Like my heart was just too shattered. And Dawn's too. We were just shattered. And anyway, we ended up getting our second dog, Livy. And I often thought, I'll never love Livy the way I love Maggie. I just can't. I just cannot. And something happened, maybe 5 years in or 4 years in, something happened. And I loved her so much. And here's my takeaway. She had to be so advanced. And I always think of any second one that comes in, whether it's a dog or a baby or somebody that comes in, has to be so advanced because there's going to be a lot of maybe rejection of them at first. I'm thinking now with dogs, not with the new baby that's coming. But there's something about that reminded me of that story there, So yes, I think rainbow babies like this are extremely advanced, extremely advanced. Now there's another term for rainbow babies that I just want to actually just give a shout out to in case people were wondering. I'm sure many of you have heard of indigo children or crystal children or rainbow children. And that's where I want to go here with this. So indigo children, the name was coined by Lee Carroll like in the 70s. And I'm an indigo child from way back. I think my father came in. I think he came in the 20s as an indigo. They're often, I call them, starseed children, but they were diagnosed ADD or ADHD, and their purpose was to shake things up. Extremely intuitive. Okay. And so then after that, there were crystal children that were born, and crystal children were born between approximately 1990 and 2010, and maybe even a little earlier. Okay. And they were the ones that come in. They're the ones that are full of love and peace and unity. And they're very clairvoyant and they're full of healing. They're amazing. You can always spot one. You can definitely spot an indigo, but you can definitely spot a crystal too. And then after that were the rainbow children that were born that have come to Earth now. And they started coming in around 2000. And these are children that have a huge heart and they bring a tremendous amount of joy to their families. And they can't be around negative emotions because they don't like negative emotions, but they can recover pretty quickly. And they're very psychic. And they're very, very unique, very loving, very generous, and they tend to care for others. They're very special kids. So when I got this question, I wasn't sure which rainbow you were talking about, but I thought I would go from there. Okay, so there you go. I hope that helps. Okay, Deborah Howard. She was born May 16th. Why is my life path so hard? I'll tell you, Deborah, 3 of diamonds. You're a 3 of diamonds. 2 things I can tell you. 3 of diamonds is the hardest path, we call that in the destiny system that I use. It's about karma. It's a very karmic path. And we're told that it's from abuse of power in previous lifetimes. And this lifetime, you kind of come in and wrap it all up. And so the only thing I can say is you must take a spiritual approach to everything. On top of that, Deborah, additionally, you were born on May 16th. I've talked about this often, like between I don't know, maybe the 13th or 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th of May. Every year there's a star, they call it the Death Star, that's attached to this birth placement. Okay. And it means that to overcome everything. They're really special people that are born during that time. And also often they're really wildly creative. And I've never seen a 3 of diamonds that wasn't wildly creative. So I think that's important to know. Okay. Let's see. Christine Showalter. Hi, Kellee. My sister passed on June 2nd, 2021. I'm so sorry. Very unexpectedly at age 54. Are there any messages from her? Her birthday was 8/13. God bless. And your birthday's January 30th. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry to hear that. And 54, there's that time period is interesting to me because 54, 55, 56 is where like major change happens in life. And 54 is an ending time. If you add 5 and 4, it's a 9, comes to an end. I wonder, and unexpectedly, I'm not sure what was in her contract, but let us get a card from your sister here. Okay, let's get a card for her. Hold on a minute. Oh, I'm using James's Talking to Heaven cards. So we'll get a card from her, and I can tell you she's definitely around here. Definitely around you. It was okay, here you go. It was my time to go. She must have had a good sense of humor. Again, when there's an exit point, there is an exit point here, so sorry about that, but just know this, she's got a good sense of humor and she's definitely around you. Okay, so here's another question, and this question is from Carrie East. She says, hey, Kellee, thanks for being there to answer all the questions that so few are able to answer. Well, I do my best here. She said, today I'm wondering about how astrology actually affects all the occurrences that play out on Earth. And I'm guessing that would include all the planets in the cosmos as well. Yes. In other words, what is the force, the energy that drives the stars? What determines which planets go retrograde or Gandanta? Is that determined by source, God, or is it simply an organic cycle that occurs over millions of millennia? Or is it driven by the collective spiritual growth of a planet's population, with issues arising in areas where growth is needed in order to advance to the next level? Is there an Akashic record library for the universe? Carrie, this is like a 2-hour discussion. Am I overthinking? She said, I can't help but think there's a link since everything is connected. Yes, I love the question. Yes, there is a link to everything. Yes, there is, from what I understand, an Akashic library. Well, I don't know if for the universe, but I know for this planet, and I know for the planets there is that. But at least for Earth, I know. But no, I have to think it is for other planets as well. And as for long as you're talking about for the universe, that I do not know. It's a great question. And is it God's source? I'm going to say yes. Is it the collective? Is it organic cycle that occurs? Possibly. It's a great question. But here's what I can say: that excuse me, that I believe it's a higher source. But we're given, when we come here, a roadmap. And it's to help us navigate the energies here on Earth. And I think that's why I'm so drawn to it, because it's an energy that gives me some guidance here so I can help guide other people. So I hope that helps. But really, really good questions here. Okay, from Crystal. Hello from New Zealand. Well, hi there, Crystal. I love your uploads on any topic. Well, thank you. And with JVP, you two are magic. Thank you. I think so too. If you come to Hastings, Hawke's Bay, I think in New Zealand, I can recommend wine and good food. Speaking my language. I love the Destiny cards, and my birthday is March 5th. So she said, are there any messages from my ancestors I'd be grateful to receive? So you're a 5 of spades. March 5th is a 5 of spades. All fives touch many people. 5 of spades specifically is about healing and being a healer. So the message for you is continue your healing work, honey. Continue your healing work. So Nancy asked a question, and this is a great question, Nancy, and I don't have your last name, but it says, after Monday's show, which Monday's show was about free will versus destiny. And she said, is war a violation against free will, or is it destiny? Great question. I think it's a combination of both. They do go hand in hand, free will and destiny. And I think that if a lot of people make negative choices about not going in and doing their inner work, and it comes out as, not dealing with their own traumas and anger and rage and frustration, then it comes out in the bigger picture, which is warlike energy. And so then is it a destiny at that point? I think war is a free will, and then it turns into destiny for some people. I don't know if that answered that the right way. It's a combination, but great question. And Janet says, hi, Kellee, happy Thursday. Well, happy Thursday, Janet. She says, there's a new Exorcist movie coming out. What do you think about possession? Isn't it 9/10 of the law? daughter of an attorney. Let's see. I know me. I will not see the Exorcist movie. That for sure. What do I think about possession? That's an interesting topic. I think it's probably real on some level. I don't mean the movie because I haven't seen the movie and I don't know. But possession, I really feel that the reason I always say don't do drugs, don't drink too much. I mean, yes, you have your whatever, but don't go down that road because it enables you to be too open to negative situations, and that's why with children, you want to surround them with love and joy and energy and all of these things to keep their spirits up. So I think when our soul gets down through a lot of things, through trauma and everything, we are leads ourselves open unless we have somebody or something that we can attach to that brings us love and compassion and understanding and safety and security. So that's a roundabout way of saying, yeah, I think it does exist. And I think that, again, another reason to keep your energies way up. I hope that answers that question for you. Let's see. Okay, Renee Wendt, I haven't seen you in a while. Happy to be watching. Well, thank you. Love you too. Thank you. Hi, Sherry Abdu. Been looking forward to your show all day. Thank you. It is very, very odd birthday. Odd energy. I can tell you that for sure. Hi, Deanie McAllister. Hi from Salmon Arm, British Columbia, Canada. Oh, so welcome. Hi, everybody. Debbie says autumn is my favorite season. I have to say it's one of mine too. Isabel Shason says on 10/14, is it a good idea to move from California to New York City? Well, it depends on. So, were you born on 10/14? Are you talking about moving on 10/14 because that's an eclipse day and that's going to be a kind of a tough day to do much, actually, 10/14. But if you were born on 10/14 and then your birthday's on this eclipse, then you'll probably be making a lot of changes. If it's a good reason to go, I'm all about change. If it's a good reason to do something, I do it. That's my thought on it. Okay, and I want to say hi, Vicky Nason. I want to say hi to you. I want to give a shout out to your husband. He says, I'm surrounded by loving animals. I'm surrounded by loving animals. I think he is talking about being surrounded by your Piper, honey. That's what I think he's doing here. That's what I think is. Just Camp Dawn says, hey, Kelly, this energy is heavy. It is heavy, right? It is. Okay. Kathy Zudniak, she said, my stepdaughter was just killed on September 26th. Oh, my God. That is shocking. Boy, that's awful. On 9/26. That was just 2 days ago. Oh, my God, honey. I'm so sorry. Wow. That's a Jack of Hearts day. Isn't that interesting? Which is a sacrifice day. She said, can I get a card to let me know if my husband and her are together now? The answer is they are together. Please know that. Please know that when this happened, he was there. The call goes out to the other side. I've got chills everywhere. 6 to 8 weeks in advance. So they know. They would absolutely, he was there. Let me get a card. I send you loving signs through nature. So let me just say she's just there, okay? Just look for signs like butterflies, and I don't know why I just heard leaves blowing from her. From that, she's only been gone just a small amount of time. So just pay a lot of attention, honey, to them. And I'm sorry, what an unbelievable thing to hear. And I just want to mention too, on Saturday, October 14th, the day of the eclipse, I'm actually going to be working. So I have 3 appointments available because some people always say, I can't get in during the week, but do you ever open anything on a Saturday? So on October 14th, I have 3 sessions, I believe, that are still open. So if you'd like a session with me, please, and Saturdays work for you, then come on in. It'll be a powerful day because it's an eclipse day. So that would be unbelievable, actually. Okay, Ms. Smith. Hi, Kelly. Would love a mini reading. Lots of loss and sickness around lately. I'm sorry, honey. Over the last 3 to 4 months. I would love to know about where my life and career is headed. And you're February 8th. You are February 8th. So February 8th is a 4 of spades. Now, let me just tell you about 4 of spades. Yes, they go through a lot. anytime you hear me say spades, but you had a 4 of spades, they go through a lot. But guess what? They have the most unbelievable career. Okay. And they have an incredible, they have an incredible deep life here. So just hang in. Things will change. Okay. Things will change and get better. Just hang in there with that. And this is a question from Frank. Hi, Frank. He says, Kellee, and his birthday is 11/7. 11/7 is a king of clubs, so a male king of clubs. So he's got a brain that is very active. He said, I need to know why for the last several months I've been waking up at 2 a.m. It all started around my oldest son. He stopped talking to me September of 2010, so 13 years ago exactly, it sounds like. However, through research, I've learned that he's married to someone he brought back from China. Okay. And 4 years ago, he called me, but the call did not go well and he hung up on me. 2 weeks later, I ran into him again and it still didn't go well. He's very disrespectful. I haven't been bothered by this until now, but my rest now is being disrupted. And why? Well, because it got activated, Frank. And here's the thing. Are you depressed and or anxious about it? Because 2 a.m, as a therapist, I'll say to somebody, how do you sleep? And they'll say, well, it's funny. I wake up every night at 2 a.m. Really, what's going on? Oh, I don't know. I haven't talked to my son in 10 years. Oh, okay. Nothing's going on? Really? So that's what I believe. That's what's going on. I mean, it's obviously it's unresolved. And with the King of Clubs, your mind is going to be like this. And 2 a.m. are you depressed? That's what we look at as a therapist. Are you depressed? Because 2 a.m. and 3 a.m, 2 and 3, are anxious. Often it's depression. Are you depressed, honey? And that would make sense if you were. Okay. Hi, Julianne Siegel. How are you? And Julianne, love your book. Remember, she was on our show, Change Your Space to Change Your Life. Great book. If you're interested in feng shui and all of this, it's really great. That was fun to have you on. Anne Margaret. Hi, Anne Margaret. Gorgeous full moon tonight in New England. Aren't you glad? You're so funny. Karen Ann, you're sluggish and bogged down, and you're 222. Well, and I know you're a 3 of diamonds because I've done your chart before. So you're a 3 of diamonds. So this energy is sluggish and bogged down. Frankly, it just is, Karen. But then what happens is, we get to these eclipse points, and it's slowing. It's energy that bogs us down because then we have to really look in. We have to look inward, and we have to say, what is it? Am I upset about this, or am I upset about that, or what do I need to let go of? I mean, this is an excellent 2-week opportunity to start this process. And because of the eclipses, and when the eclipses hit, then things start to change and move again. So anyway, I hope that helps. Donna Cunning, my birthday is March 27th, so you're 9 of clubs. My lease is up, and I still haven't received my distribution for my father's estate. I have to move back home. I don't know what to do. So you can see what this is about. 9 of clubs, Donna, is not an easy place. So I'm not sure which direction to go in with this, because there's a holdup on everything, it seems to me right now with energy. There'll be some shifts, Donna. Just hang in there again. There'll be some shifts here with this, okay? Maybe not be today or tomorrow, but there will be some shifts there, okay? So just think like that. And Andrea Weinbarger, can I get a card for my husband? I miss him so much. My birthday is 10/9 and his is 12/30. I haven't heard from him lately, so I'm trying to meditate more often. You would think because the veil is thinner, this would be easier. It's up there when James says, come to me, come to me, come to me, when we do this work. I can tell you he's around you, Andrea. I just keep hearing, just relax. They're not like trained monkeys. I don't even know. Can you train a monkey? They're there when they're there. They're always around if you're thinking about them, okay? Remember me by the happy memories we created. So make sure to go put up some pictures. And I bet you have a dream with him. By the way, because the veil is getting thinner and because this full moon energy, pay attention to your dreams. Our loved ones, this is really a time. I actually had a dream of my grandfather who's been gone for, I almost said 100 years, but it's been gone a long time. Like 60 years? Wait, how old am I? 55, 50 years, something, gone a long time. And I had a dream about him 2 nights ago. So, Heather Thorpe, for me, it's sadness and other emotions to release involving trauma. Okay, honey, very emotional moon phase for myself. Heather, thank you for saying that. So, sadness and other emotions to release. When you're talking about trauma, make sure, honey, you have a lot of compassion for you. Okay, and the sadness, it's very real, and this kind of pain is very real. And then, when you can, you'll start to move through it. Okay, when there is a time for moving through things. All right, but good. Thank you for saying that. About that. Very good, honey. That's hard to do, isn't it? Kenshetta Aparo says, hello, Kellee. My birthday is October 14th, the day of the eclipse. What does this mean for my birthday? Change, change, change. First of all, on your birthday, I'd be sitting in some special meditation, Kenshetta. I really would. Some special meditation, because it's amazing energy. That is, they say in Vedic tradition, like, you don't eat for hours, and you stay, they don't even have you take a shower. You just stay pretty still in contemplation, and you don't go out, you don't drive, and you certainly don't work. I mean, they have all these rules. I blew the first rule when I go, I think that's, for me, that's a good day to work. But for you, it will bring this birthday. If your birthday is on the day of the eclipse, October 14th, which is the solar eclipse, it will change your life tremendously. 8 of clubs, your life will start to change. I'm not sure how yet. I'd have to look at your chart and talk to you about it. I'm not sure, but I would say a lot of change will happen. Also, if your birthday is October 28th, a lot of change. That's a lunar eclipse. And if your birthday is between the 14th of October and the 28th of October, or if your birthday's in between, woo, it's going to be like a lot of roller coaster energy there. If your birthday's a few days before October, between the 14th and also a few days before the 28th, you'll see a lot of changing, honey. Linda Alquist, she says, I'm dealing with sending my old lady horse, 35 years old, over the Rainbow Bridge. See, that's another term to use, Rainbow Bridge. All these rainbows today. I'm sorry, Linda. I'm very sorry that you're doing that. That's a tough one. And dealing with that and the feelings of that kind of dealing with that struggle, that's a big one. So make sure you give yourself a lot of love, Linda. You know what's so weird, Linda, is I just had a deja vu. I have not had that in a long time. Like I had already said this to you, which means it's time then. Whatever you're dealing with this, again, it's the time to do this. It's so interesting. Don Mueller, I'm worried about my oldest boy dealing with bipolar. His birthday is 6/2. He's been in intensive therapy, so worried about him. So number one, you've got him in intensive therapy. That's very good. And so he is 21. Males' brains don't even get formed yet until they're about 24, 25. So, and he's June 2nd. So June 2nd is a 2 of spades. 2 of spades comes in pretty strong. They're pretty strong. They come in with a lot of fear, but they're usually wildly creative too. So is he on medication? You've done the right thing getting him in intensive therapy. And as a mother, I understand. But often, if the true diagnosis is bipolar and they're medicated, although some of them get upset about taking their meds, they can lead amazing lives. Okay, you'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot about life through this process. But, and I understand being worried about him. He will be okay. Just keep an eye, keep him in intensive therapy if he'll stay. That would be greatest things for him. Okay, Debbie Wallace, and your birthday is 5/16, and so May 16th, which is a 3 of diamonds. She said, why is this the hardest path? I've lost a child and many others. So again, Debbie Wallace, I was talking about this when somebody else asked about May 16th. Ironically, my parents were married on that day. Didn't last. But I always wondered about that date. But May 16th, 3 of diamonds, they come in because they have a lot of karmic issues there. They have to learn to literally put their faith into God. literally. And that's the plan for a 3 of diamonds, like to have just unwavering faith. Okay. So Debbie, I'm sorry, but let me get you a card, honey. Okay. Let me get you a card there for this situation. The earth is our school. Well, I couldn't have said it better, actually. The earth is our school. Earth is a tough planet, man. It is, man, it's tough. Tough to be here, you know. Elizabeth Andre, July 26th. So July 26th is a 2 of clubs. 2 of clubs also comes to overcome fear. We call 2 of clubs the friendly conversationalist because they can strike up a conversation with anybody, and friends are very important. Overcoming fear is very important. I hope that helps. Okay, so Kellee Holloway. Hi, Kellee. So my birth date is March 30th. Okay, so March 30th, which is a 6 of clubs, speaking up, speaking your truth, balance. Glad you're doing well. Yes, the energy's been intense. May I please have a mini card, or let's get you a card from your husband. Okay, and his name is Joshua. Let's get a card, Joshua, for Kellee. Okay, ooh, I got chills around him. Did he do something with bikes or motorcycles or cars or something about going fast? If I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. So I'm not sure what, I'd love to know the backstory. There's got to be a backstory with that one. So here you go, honey. Just know he is around you. Okay? Just know that. Let's see. Lena Bean says, I just hope my loved ones on the other side know how much I love them and how grateful I am that they visit me in the dreams and look out for me. So our loved ones do know that. And especially, listen, you've lost somebody. I talk to my mom all the time. I just do. I talk to a lot of my loved ones on the other side a lot. Sometimes I just sit there and I just have a conversation with my dad. Sometimes it's, other people that I've lost in my life. But they love it when you do that. So do it. Absolutely do it, because I think it's very important. So I think it's important here. Yeah. Okay. So what else was I gonna? Let's see here. Debbie Clooney says, hi, Kellee. I love that you help people. My nephew Tommy passed away recently. I'm so sorry. His wife has had a few strange things happen in her house. Do you think it's Tommy? Yes, of course. Can you please let's get a card for her. Oh, bless her. Oh my gosh. Let's get a card for his mother. Absolutely. Of course it's Tommy. They'll do anything to get their attention. I was working with somebody once, wasn't that long ago, it was maybe 6 months ago, and with a son who had passed away, like 18 or something. And a book fell off my chip. Up here, he was trying to get my attention. Right with the mother here on Zoom. He says it was my turn to go. It was my time to go. But I want her to know he's around her all the time, and especially in the kitchen. I think he likes to eat, and he's around his mom in the kitchen. You make sure she knows that. Okay. Brittany Ann, how do you know if crystals are real or fake? Well, I'm a crystal freak in nature. I mean, I feel energy from them, Brittany. I don't know what you mean by fake, unless like plastic or fake. I don't know. I only been around real crystals, and I love the crystal energy. So how do you tell if they're a fake crystal? I don't know. I don't think I've ever been put into that situation before. Vicky says, you, my friend, are the real deal. Thanks, honey. Authentic and as real as it goes. It's true. Pretty authentic. And so are you, honey. I think that's great. Okay, Linda Thomas, on your birthday is July 4th. So that's 4th of July, and that's a Jack of Diamonds. Whenever anybody's born on the 4th of July, I always kind of like, oh, Jack of Diamonds, because they can pop out of a cake. They have lots of energy, very youthful. Okay, you've been working on releasing and letting go. Fabulous. I'm wondering about my health issues and relationships. I've been thinking all of these things you mentioned, looking into my soul, and learned lots about connecting with my soul from James and you. Oh, great. Well, and Linda, keep doing that. Keep looking at what you can let go of. When you are carrying a bunch of crap, from things. I don't know, maybe crap's not the right word, just a lot of stuff. When you start to release, it brings so much energy. And for a Jack of Diamonds, energy is really empowering and important here. And this is be a great time. And on Monday, James and I have our show is going to be living. It's like, I forget the exact name of it, but it's like living the best you. And James has homework for people to do. And we're going to be giving tools. I'm going to do psychological tools, and James is going to do spiritual tools, and we're going to kind of get everybody. He says it's going to be like a therapy class and a spiritual class all at once. So I'll be talking about, lots of different things. James and I have been working on this for Monday night, which will be a fun, eventful show, which will be really good. So please join us on Monday. Which I think will be so much fun. Okay, Connie Epley, may I have a card? I feel I need to move, and you are 1024. 1024, October 24th, Jack of Hearts. So it's funny, your birthday's right between those eclipses. And as I was saying, if you were born any side of that or in the middle, be prepared. So if you feel the need to move, you'll probably be moving. And the energy can feel stressful. If you can, and I say this to everybody, be grateful for everything you can. If you're in a position to say that. I have to go to this new office, like 3 days a week now. And at first, I was like getting bugged. I really didn't want to, but I can't afford to have that thought. My thoughts have to be, I'm so grateful I found an office to use while I am getting the house remodeled. Literally, it changed everything. So if you can, everybody, kind of keep in that space of gratitude. And if you'd like an in-depth reading from me, go to kelleewhite.com. And on that Saturday, I do have on October 14th on the eclipse, I still have some sessions left. So I'm going to be working that Saturday. That's right. But I'll be working out of my home office. So it's going to be, I'm really excited about that. Anyway, everybody, so take care. And then we'll see you Monday night with James. And on Both Sides Now and Beyond. And then you'll see me again back next Thursday night. So take care, everybody, and put your crystals out and go celebrate this full moon and really start to get some insight for yourself of what you can let go of. Okay? Take care, my friends, and I'll see you Monday.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.